I remember when we were strong. The Viridian Outriders, a bold fraternity dedicated to preserving the safety of the needful traveler. Within my lifetime, I have seen us fall so far, replaced by the steel and gold of a king I once called friend. New threats arise, though, and his cutlass and coin may not be enough to save our people. We're still here, though. Less than we were. But we're here, and we'll help where we can. That is my oath.
Hello, and welcome back to Another Path. My name is Chase, and I remain your GM. Today, our heroes learn more about magic, a prison, and the danger at their doorstep. Thank you to our backers, Katie, Kasia, and Brianna, for their support. If you like what you hear, consider donating to us at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia, and maybe try checking out some of the other shows on the network. And we've mentioned this in a few other places, but Ghostlight Media will once again be going to Acadicon. The convention runs from November 8th through the 10th in Dayton, Ohio at the Dayton Convention Center. We'll have a booth set up over the weekend in the Vendors Hall, but we'll also be hosting a few events, so please be sure to stop by and say hi if you're in the area. With that, sit back, relax, and enjoy your trip down Another Path. May I hard pivot into one relatively short bit? So I was on Amazon a couple of days ago, and for some reason it was showing me themed cookbooks, like nerdily themed cookbooks.
Oh, no.
And I came across one that I am utterly baffled by to this day. And this was like a couple of weeks ago, and I've been ruminating on this for a while. I do not understand why this cookbook exists. Because it came out, the only hint I will give to you, because the question is, what is this property? What property has a cookbook?
All right.
It came out in August of 2022. There is no reason for this cookbook to have come out for this property at this time.
All right.
What is the property?
Elden Ring.
Okay, we got an Elden Ring.
That's, can I ask a question?
You may ask one question.
Is this a video game franchise, or are we talking about a different nerddom?
This is a video game.
Video game franchise put out a nerdy cookbook.
I said Elden Ring because of the G Fuel that came out.
Fair.
And maybe they went all in on it.
I still get emails about that. I signed up for it. I did not get it.
Disco Elysium.
I wish.
What a pull. 2022?
2022.
So over 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Borderlands.
Ooh,
but that, I don't know.
A good guess.
Yeah, because that was before the movie would have been beat.
I will say, Ryan is the warmest.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Fucking Fallout or something?
No.
That was my guess. That would have been too early for the show. Yeah.
No, like I said, there is nothing. There is no reason that this should have come out.
Doom. Like,
hey, Griffin, closer.
Wait,
Call of Duty.
Wait, does it make sense that this franchise has a cookbook or no?
Of course not.
Destiny.
Okay. Halo.
Ryan got it.
Halo.
The Halo cookbook.
Okay.
Halo
No, that does
cookbook.
make sense, though, because there was a show.
Did that come out in 22?
I think so.
Paramount.
Why is there like a taco salad on the Halo cookbook?
Guys, this just looks like a space Applebee's.
We love space Applebee's.
I'm looking at a sub. I'm looking at fish and chips. I'm looking at churros. I'm looking at Halo's space churros.
Spapplebee's?
Spapplebee's. Oh, no.
Spapplebee's.
From portable snacks you can take with you in the Warthog to decadent spreads to feed the entire squadron.
Master chocolate lava cake.
He's Master Chef.
Episode 1 of Season 1 of Halo was released March 2022.
There it is.
That's why it came out.
But that's March. The series would have been over by that point.
Yeah, so the series ended in May, And then the first episode of season 2 came out in 2024. So no, it dropped like 4 months late.
Guys, there's a RuneScape cookbook.
Oh no!
But here's the thing that makes more sense to me. No, it doesn't. Because there's cooking in RuneScape.
But there's
fair.
Like a Zelda cookbook makes more sense.
Zelda cookbook.
Stardew Valley was going to be my guess after all this.
Oh, that makes way too much sense.
That would not have been me being baffled. That would have been me trying to convince you guys that we should buy the Stardew Valley cookbook and do like a 12-hour live stream where we just make Stardew Valley food.
Sold.
Yeah, no, like I'm seeing like there's a Horizon Zero Dawn cookbook.
Oh man.
Alien, like the movie.
Justin, I have found a Destiny cookbook.
Oh no. Why?
There's a Diablo cookbook.
Is there? Hold on.
There's a Witcher cookbook.
Is there a Pokemon cookbook, and what are they cooking?
Jelly donuts.
Assassin's Creed, the Culinary Codex.
The Culinary Codex.
Oh man, I gotta get off of this. This is a rabbit hole I can't afford to go down right now.
What I will say is I do know one of the first things that pops up is the Elder Scrolls cookbook, which I know friend of the show, Rin, does own and has cooked from.
Yes.
I'd be disappointed if she didn't, though.
In the Pokemon cookbook, step 1 of every recipe is to turn your drying pan back into a frying pan.
Nice, Justin. Great poll.
Okay,
hey,
I'll leave.
Justin. Hey, Justin, is everyone in Pokemon world a vegetarian, or how does that work?
Oh, no, man. They eat Pokemon.
They canonically eat Pokemon.
Yeah, no, Slowpoke tail specifically is a delicacy.
Yeah.
So we're just going around, growing herds of Miltank?
Yeah.
I saw a gnarly animation once of someone like peeling the skin off of a Chikorita to be prepared, and I was like, holy shit.
What Pokemon would you eat? You get one.
That's a real question.
You get one.
You get one Pokemon.
Spheal.
Oh.
Spheal?
Interesting. I mean, is it a cop-out to go with, like, the ice cream Pokemon?
No, but that is...
No, that's fair.
You got to realize that Vanillux and Vanillite, while they look like ice cream cones, they are just ice.
I'm going to change my answer to Tropius, because he's got bananas on his neck, and I want to...
There you go.
I want to snatch those.
If you go with a Alolan Executor, you could get some coconuts, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm going Togepi.
Oh my god.
That's just an egg.
It's egg.
There you go.
It's egg and meat in one.
Fuck.
I'm going Delibird.
Delibird. All right.
Yeah.
I bet a rotisserie Delibird, pretty good.
Remember that the gift sack is part of its body.
We'll
there might be a special treat in there.
It's connected.
If you finish your Delibird meat, then you get the special prize in the box.
It's like a terrible Kinder Egg.
I must share one final tangent on the subject. In the Pikmin games, there is a bestiary, and there's a fucked up guy named Louie. And once you beat Pikmin 2 for the first time, all of the scientific notes get a sidebar where Louie tells you how best to prepare and eat all of the creatures in Pikmin.
Top tier.
And I'm saying there's
tier.
precedent. So the Pokemon games could do this.
I can't think of Pikmin without thinking of your mug with the piss.
Oh, my piss mug? Yeah. I've been playing Pikmin 2 again, and the Pikmin will gravitate toward areas where the nectar is so quickly, and I have to, like, recall them, and I always say, come on, you little piss heads, come on. Freaks, you little
Piss ants.
Nasty little freaks.
nasty little piss heads, let's go.
Okay. We ready?
Star Wipe.
We'll cut back over to Harper. It's late afternoon now. You did a lot of research there in that last little bit. What are you doing?
Harper is sitting in her workshop. She has sent out word to Elijah and to Dieter to meet her here to talk at some point. But while she's waiting for them, She is sketching out in a little black book plan A, plan B, plan C. Just a lot of different contingencies. She gets distracted for a little bit and starts doodling something that we would recognize to be like the shape, like the outline of like a pistol, like a handgun. And then gets back to it and does get to something it's not the last in her book, but she has labeled it Plan Z as the ultimate last resort play. And I think closes the book so she doesn't have to think about it. Sees.
Dieter walks in, followed relatively shortly by Elijah. Dieter has adjusted very well to outrider life, especially considering the conditions he was living in. He's not quite as wild-eyed as he was back when he first joined, but definitely still has a bit of a lingering manic to his energy.
I've been sneaking chamomile into his tea, his morning tea and stuff like that to just kind of chill him the fuck out a little bit.
You're drugging him?
I'm providing him with herbal supplements without his knowledge.
You're drugging Dieter.
And I'm sorry, would you have done any differently?
Absolutely not. I would have been involved with it. I brewed you. No, actually, probably am. Let's be honest. Cecil.
You probably
made a special
supplied
tea.
me with the stuff, yeah.
Cecil's sleepy time tea.
So, Harper, what's
Hey guys,
what's going on? Yeah,
grab a seat. There's something that I got a big one, and I hate to pull rank. But
at that, Bailey leans forward and kind of not Kubrick stares you, but kind of over glasses that don't exist is looking at you. Dieter kind of stiffens and okay.
I need this, and Bailey, I know, but we work closely enough. This has to be need to know, and y'all helped me out so much with that cannon. I would not have been able to get that done in the time that we did as elegantly. Bailey, the propulsion's incredible. I'm legitimately not trying to butter you up. I'm just saying, I
mean, it is working.
What I'm trying to say is I think we work well together, and I have another thing that I can't do by myself, but there's a level of secrecy that has to go into it. Not only from other Outriders, but I may ask one of you to build a thing that I can't exactly tell you what it's intended to do. And if y'all are not okay with that, I respect it. But that's kind of where we're at.
Bailey sighs, rolls his shoulder, and takes his wand out of a sleeve and just points it over his shoulder at the door. You see a muffling effect take over. Does Luca know? If I go to Luca and say, "Hey, Luca, I'm working on this thing with Harper."
If you tell him you're working on the box, he'll know what's up.
Fine.
And Harper unfurls some schematics that are just labeled the box.
The box.
Plan A is to try to recreate the shit I saw in the vision. So recreating Sterling's method of containment.
Okay.
So the wrought iron runes, the black iron box to diminish the effect of the core once it's contained inside of it.
Okay.
And along the way, as I'm studying, if I find a way to make it even better, great.
Cool.
But that's my starting point.
Cool. So Bailey's looking it over. It's yeah, this is good. We would need a... Is this wrought iron or is it black iron?
It's wrought.
Okay. I was going to say it would work better with black iron, not for nothing. It's harder to get a hold of, though.
Is it transmutable?
No, Black Iron, I mean, it's... I don't want to say it's legendary. It is a thing. Black Iron, it's something used by like a prior civilization, but if you can get it, it actually does hold on to magic really well, and it's a good conductor. I'm aware of a couple of ruins, like a few little ways away, if you wanted to do a little side thing and like try and get some of it, but like they're infested, so that's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Let's stick a pin in that.
Okay.
We're still in the planning phase.
Right.
So once we get to resource acquisition, we'll consider...
No, like I said, I'm blue sky in here.
Yeah, for sure. But that's good to keep in mind.
Dieter comes over and investigates the box schematics and is like, okay, this all seems... I mean, I'm following it here. What kind of protections are we putting on? When I was working for the individual, one of the things that we were working on was essentially an ID kind of situation. Basically, that you could attune something to certain individuals. Only so many people could have control over the magicatronics.
Right.
What if we put something like that on here? Like, I'm not exactly sure what's going in here. Can you share that?
Something real bad.
Real powerful?
Very. If we're talking on terms of scope, probably beyond anything that you or I have the means of making.
If I had more information, and I get you can't need to know and all that, but if we knew what we were working with, because I'm thinking, and he snaps his fingers and pulls essentially minor images, a 3D version of it.
Yeah.
Off the page. Because my thinking is not knowing what we're talking about here, but what if we could do that kind of ID thing, but then of course we would need a source for, like, because that is a constant check that it's running, so we got to pull that power from somewhere.
Right.
If we could pull essentially power from whatever is in there, and he just like conjures a question mark floating in the box. If we could figure out some way to loop that into its own protection, what if we could use that power to power not only that, but also like maybe an additional, set of runes or something like that, and another layer of protection.
That's not a bad idea. That could work.
Like I said, I can probably get that information, but I would need to know.
Let me sleep on it.
All right.
For what it's worth, fellas, I don't have all the answers either.
Okay.
That's going to be a meeting between me and Luca, if anything.
Okay, that's fair.
But this is these are all great ideas. That's why I asked you guys to help. Let's get some drafts made up. We'll start requisitions maybe day after tomorrow, and then this is a rush job. So I'm not going to ask either of you to do something that you're not willing to do, but I probably ain't going to be sleeping all week. So,
when you say rush, how rush? Are we talking a week, a month?
ASAP.
Okay. I mean, we'll sleep.
I don't know when this is going to pop off.
All right. Well,
could be any day.
If we're sleeping on it, you need to sleep on it as well. You do shit work when you don't sleep.
Hey.
It's true.
Fine. Harper digs into her pouch and takes her shrinkable coffee thermos and hands it to Dieter so that she can't.
Pops it into his bag, and they part ways to work on things independently. Cecil.
I need every single piece of information about Scaleswright.
Where do you go to get that?
Arabin, you want to go talk to Lenny and see what you can scare up in the library about Scaleswright, and I'm going to go to our spy master and see what I can get there.
Sure, I'll go ask him.
Okay.
Great. Ready? Break. Go team.
Cecil, you're going to speak with Jasper. You walk into his office and they look up at you. Cecil, I feel like I haven't talked to you this much in like a decade. What's going on?
Well, I was behind a desk for a lot of that.
You were.
It was delightful.
It has its charms.
I miss it greatly.
Uh-huh. What's up?
I need everything you've got on Scaleswright.
The prison.
Yes.
Why is that?
I also need not just the news about it or what's been going on there or who's running it or any of that. I also need schematics or rumors or ways to get in and out, odd happenings in the immediate area around it in the past, I'd say 30 years.
Cecil, are you planning a prison break?
Technically, no, because we're not breaking people out.
Are you going to give me any more information than that?
We believe we have discovered the location of the device.
Oh. My. Scaleswright, then.
Scaleswright.
Fair enough. I'll get you what I can. The Crown has never really shared that particular kind of information with us, but I'll pull what I can.
Thank you.
I can have a report to you by the end of the day today. If you want anything more than surface level, though, it's going to take a week or two.
I'll take what we can get now. I'll take what we have now. We are going to take a little bit of time because we need to gather some things before we go and get a more firm plan. But anything that would be immediate for planning purposes would be useful. And the circle on this, Jasper, is incredibly tight.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable with the King's Guard coming in today is not great timing. So if that means tomorrow, that is also fine.
Fine. Yeah, I will, like I said, I'll get you what I can. You'll have it. Actually, it's late enough. First thing tomorrow morning, it'll be to you. But if you need more or want more, let me know. I can try and scramble an agent out there. We've got some friendly outrider outposts not too far away. It would be a lot of pull, and I wouldn't be able to do much in the means of information gathering for a while, but I could do that if need be.
Let's see what we've got available first, and then maybe make that call. We might need it. We can't stop the war, Jasper, but maybe we can solve this problem.
Maybe. Very good.
On my way out, I see his. He has the map, right?
Yeah.
Laid out all over the table. And Cecil just wants to kind of clock troop placements.
You're not seeing that on the map. Give me perception at disadvantage.
Okay. I don't think I'm trying to hide it necessarily.
Yes, but you are trying to interpret information based on a weird way that you are receiving it. Because you can get rough information on this based on what you're seeing. It's just difficult.
Sure. 12.
With a 12, you notice that there are a lot of pockets of scrolls where they are missing. A bit around the seat, along the coast, which is actually the thing that catches your attention. The coastline running up from, the southern border of Taggart all the way up the coastline there. It looks like, maybe you might be seeing some naval action going on, but that's what you're getting.
Okay. Thank you, Jasper.
Of course. Arabin, what are you doing?
Arabin does not go and put the amulet back on.
No.
He goes straight to the library.
Arabin. Good.
Lenny.
You've got that tone in your voice. What are you looking for?
Cecil wanted me to come here and get any information we could on Scaleswright Prison.
Scaleswright Prison. Old facility.
Exactly. So there must be something published, any report or book or anything. Any information we can get on it.
Well, let's see what we can do. Go ahead and roll me a history check.
History. Okay. It's at 18.
Okay. Pretty good.
Flat roll 18.
Wow. Nice.
Nice.
With Lenny's help, because I rolled for him as well, the two of you are able to pull together a rough history on Scaleswright. It is one of the older facilities in either nation. This place was built before the breakdown happened. At one point, Taggart and Emodrin were one nation, and that nation dissolved into the two that you know today. Scaleswright was one of the first ones that was ever built. And it has housed high priority prisoners for hundreds and hundreds of years. What you are able to discern is that it is also, in more recent years, it is kind of considered a black site. You know, a lot of people go there and don't come out. Not typically political prisoners, not that kind of situation, but individuals who are known to be habitual or at the very least big problem causers.
But it is still a functioning prison?
Oh, absolutely. With your history roll specifically, what I will say is that some of the bandit groups that you used to interface with would talk about Scaleswright as a worst case scenario. But that gives you a very interesting little bit of insight there that, again, I think this is the last bit that I'm going to give you on this, because it is a big one. People have broken out. You don't talk about a place in hushed tones if nobody knows anything about it. Scaleswright is an operating prison that people are afraid of, and fear has to have a source. If people just go into a black hole, well, how do they know the hole is even there? If someone gets out of the hole, that's how you learn to fear it.
Okay, so Arabin's gonna gather up any and all reports or sources. I'm sure if there were any like published works on it, they were sort of like carefully made to not paint the prison in the way it is. But anyway, I'm gonna take all of that and get it to Cecil.
Okay. Harper, it is now fully night.
Yeah, I am diving deep into these runes. I think what Harper's goal is, she does not know the arcane language that these are written in. So she's essentially playing like translation.
Sure.
Where she wants to essentially rewrite the enchantment in her own sort of mathematic code. Because then if she's gonna, A, it's gonna help her understand it better, and then B, it'll be easier to modify if I need to, if I find ways to strengthen it, or if I need to, I like Dieter's idea of trying to like divert and loop out the energies to sort of fuel its own defense. I think I need to convert it into my own sort of language if I'm gonna be able to do that.
Sure.
So we're going to make a roll for this?
Yeah, this would be Arcana.
I have more second level spell slots. I'm going to pop Enhance Ability again.
Cool.
I've got this little like bracelet on that has a little fox, little trinket on it. For advantage, come on, baby. It's a dirty 20, and I'll Flash of Genius myself to make it a 24.
Cool.
I'll boost it as high as I can boost it.
So what was your ultimate goal with doing this? Like, if everything had worked perfectly, what would you have gotten?
I get to understand what specifically I'm working with.
Sure.
Like, the notes described it being a diminishing effect. Not like an anti-magic, but like, is it like putting out a counter force to reduce it? Are the runes absorbing the energies? Like, I'm just trying to get an understanding of how the mechanics work, and then also I'm making it malleable so that if I need to get my hands in this and add or segment off the equation, then I can do that.
What you're getting is that these runes are providing a muting effect. This is an artifact with an incredible amount of even ambient power. Being around it, you get the impression from these runes like it is almost intoxicating to somebody who is well versed in magic and spellcraft. And certainly would be to somebody who isn't. Imagine walking into a room where someone had been smoking a lot. The ambient energy of this thing is incredible and would be, to somebody who knew what they were looking for, very easy to track. What this does is quiets all of that down to an incredible degree, and you're seeing that's how it would play out.
Cool. I think my plan for the box, I made a little diagram, Chase.
I love it. Oh, that's great.
So there's going to be an initial ring of runes for containment, for the muting effect. I'm going to leave little, like knife's edge thin breaks in the containments. So that can seep out into a second ring, which will sort of loop and feed back in on itself to continuously supply that power. And then there will be a third ring that is another set of muting stuff, so that the first two rings are fully self-contained, and there's no further leaks beyond that. So that's sort of like a safety measure there. And then, from what Dieter was talking about, he was almost describing what sounded like biometric locks to me. So I'm, like, working on that idea as well, and I'm gonna put, like, as many fucking locks on this thing as I can make.
Incredible.
And that's plan A, and I'm working on that. I don't know that I can take up Bailey on the offer of going out on fucking expedition to get this cool black iron.
Black iron in this economy?
Can we subcontract this? Can I get some fucking hirelings? I have no money, so
no.
I would be asking
then the answer is no.
Luca, can I borrow company funds? Can I get the company credit card to hire some day workers?
That would mean that Harper and Cecil both employ minors, but in different ways.
Good, Justin.
Yeah, no, with what's going on, considering that they are also pulling you off duties, there's not much else that can be done.
For sure. Okay. Then this has to be a rush job. I don't know when this is popping off. We don't know when we're going to get blindsided, so I need to be prepared. I think that is Harper's taking the approach of, like, if it worked for the fucking king, it'll work for me. So, and maybe I can strengthen it. Maybe I can, like, take the iron and, like, you know, melt it down and strengthen it, like, make it more of an alloy. I'm going to keep this as close to the original design as I can, just doing things where I think I can make improvements. Because, again, I don't know what dipshit Sterling hired to do this, but I'm easily twice as smart as him.
Fair enough. And you spend your night working on that. Cecil, what are you doing?
Nothing good. Honestly, there's only so much to do apart from information gathering and prepping to go get this thing. Like, only a handful of us are going to go, and we just need to know more about the prison and what to expect there and have some semblance of a plan beyond just snatch and grab and throw it in a box. Until we get that information, there's not a lot to go on. So Cecil... Here, actually, Arabin, did you have something else you wanted to do, or otherwise I'm going to pull you into my thing?
I was going to go to you in my thing anyway, so might as well just pull me in there.
Cool. So, so Cecil and Arabin reconvene and swap notes from the library and the spy master from Jasper's.
All of what I found is pretty much public information, so a lot of it is what the prison wants people to think, and the rest of it is just hearsay and anecdotal stuff.
Good to know. Yeah, we'll have a full report from Jasper within the next day or so. Then he's going to keep digging, and he can send another spy or two out if we need more. But that's going to take time, and it's also going to take time just for us to get out there. So, every day that we wait isn't a day that we lose. But I also don't know that device is going anywhere unless Sterling has grand plans to use it to stop or win a war, in which case I hesitate to even think that far.
Well, if that were to happen, at least then we would have a better idea of where he is.
True. There's not much we can do about him for right now, as much as I want to. But I think I figured something out.
What's that?
Let's go back down to the lake. I need to try something. As dusk falls and we get to the edge of the lake where we find an open clearing, and Cecil pulls out their wand. So I've rediscovered a bit of magic, that it was always a bit finicky for me. I could never totally use the spell as much as I wanted to. Well, I could only use it on others, but I think I've figured it out now. So, if you don't mind, just let the magic take hold.
Okay.
You trust me, Arabin.
As much as I can.
Cecil takes a couple steps back and spins the wand, and a clock face appears beneath the wand, and instead of faces, we see it spin through the creatures of the multiverse. And I cast Polymorph on Arabin.
Okay.
Turn into a giant ape. Intelligence is 7, so I picked a good one.
Arabin flinches and looks at himself, and he's very confused, but he can no longer talk.
Cecil just looks up because you are huge.
Oh my god.
You are a huge beast. You have 157 hit points. It worked. Yes. I'm sure you're having a great time. You can run around a bit. You probably climb real good, too. I mean, you're bigger than the trees, actually. Well, that'll last for a little bit, but...
Arabin, walks around, and he's not sure how to walk as an ape.
I have something incredibly dumb to inform you all of. I have just pulled up Giant Ape stats.
Uh-huh.
Your passive perception has increased to the point where you now clock somebody watching you.
Oh, no.
You look off into the distance, and at your new greater height, you see Fenrir watching you and Cecil intently, and his eyes have gone wide as you have turned into a giant ape.
Arabin now is just looking back at Fenrir in complete and utter shock, and he looks down at Cecil and back up to Fenrir and is panicking.
What's wrong, Arabin?
Fenrir takes a step back, looks you in the eye, points to his eye, points to you, and he turns and walks away.
Arabin, even in ape form, his face goes pale.
Cecil cuts the spell. Hey, Arabin, I'm going to change you back. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Drop concentration.
Remember when I said that there are others that serve the penumbra?
Yes.
One of them is closer than I let on.
Well, I assumed you knew of them around somewhere. There's another one here?
Yeah, over at the knotted net.
Oh, so very close, like next door.
Yeah, I have a feeling that he's not gonna be as friendly the next time I see him.
Because you took off the amulet?
Yeah.
Ah. Understood.
This is the longest you've gone without the amulet since you've gotten it. I think by a pretty wide margin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you haven't gone, like, as at this point, you've been a whole day without it.
Yeah, the longest it's been is like a few hours at night. Hey, Cecil?
Yes, Arabin?
Can I ask you a question about your magic?
Sure. Yes.
So magic for me, it's still in me. I feel it, but it's like a puddle. And the amulet sort of takes that puddle and refocuses it. Is it anything like that for you?
Arabin, we could write books and tomes about what magic feels like to different folks. In fact, many have written many of those very fine and some idiotic tomes. A lot of them are down in the library with Lenny. I don't know where my magic comes from. I've just always had a connection to it, and it appears like this. Time is interesting, and being able to bend it and change what the world looks like, and to me it feels more like a shifting mist that is part of me, but can also be directed by me.
So it's different.
Yes, I mean, your powers come from your connection and a bond to the patron you've pledged to, and you draw directly upon those powers and gifts. Mine are, in theory, more innate, but also clearly have a connection to something far greater and bigger and out there than I know.
Yeah.
Maybe we can figure out a way to get the puddle to stay with you?
That's what I'm sort of hoping for. Maybe find a different way to direct it.
You know what it feels like.
Yeah.
We just have to be able to replicate that. Maybe get you a bucket.
Right now, the bucket is my hands, and we know how well that works. I need the amulet for now, but if there's any way that maybe one day I don't, then maybe we can go with Harper's smash it into a million pieces plan.
I like that plan. Here, hold on. We should try this. I don't know if this will work or not, but it's worth a try. I hand over my +1 wand. That is mine and attuned to me. Mm-hmm. What does this feel like?
Feels like a shoe that doesn't quite fit right.
Apt.
I can tell it's somebody else's.
Yes, but could you use it?
I don't think so. Arabin sort of like waves it.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's just a piece of wood.
I would say it is more than a piece of wood. Like, you know, there is, like, especially as a +1 focus, there you can feel that there is a magical attunement going on here, that you know that in a different practice hand might be able to use it. Hell, you may even be able to use something like this at some point. But you are a warlock and not a sorcerer and not a wizard. And your patron does not recognize this wand as an access point. And that's what you need.
Yeah, it just feels like a different world. So I hand it back to Cecil.
Thank you. There are many different worlds and magics to draw upon.
And if you ever need to practice something again, the pond is probably no longer safe.
Good to know. One more thing. Just one more thing to try real quick. Takes out the wand and spins it. I guess we'll never know until we try. Cecil spins the wand again, and that same clock face with all of the creatures of the multiverse, kind of almost like a Wheel of Fortune wheel kind of thing, and we see it land on Tiger, and then the spell fizzles out. Cecil just kind of smiles to himself and Well, I guess I won't be using it on myself then. So, Arabin, do you like giant ape, or should we find something else? I think it would be hilarious to turn Ignis into a giant ape, personally.
It actually didn't feel too bad.
I'm sure there's other things we could do. Do you know what a Brontosaurus is?
Never heard of it.
Oh, it's even bigger.
Don't turn my son into meat.
Look, you never know until you try.
We make our way back up the path, back toward town, discussing the various creatures that Arabin could turn into.
The camera pulls away. We see Cecil and Arabin on the beach. We don't see, but we know that far below the earth, Harper continues to work. And we see Fenrir Hale stalking back to the knotted net, unsure of who they thought was an ally is actually getting up to. Thank you for joining us here on Another Path. You can find our website and merch store at anotherpathpodcast.com, on Twitter at anotherpathpod, and our network at ghostlightmedia.net. You can support our efforts by donating at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia, or by giving us a rating and review over on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcatcher will let you. You can also find me on Twitter at TQLoudly, Griffin at GriffCold, and Ryan at RyanRoll20. You can find Justin on TikTok at JustJustinMichael, and myself at TQLoudly. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode, and until then, remember that if you go too big, it may be hard to go home. This has been a Ghostlight Media production.